Even as a little child, you were busy building Lego sets, you were busy figuring out how to build things, how to go out in the forest and find new creatures. You did everything by yourself, and now you look at yourself and say, I could probably draft a will. Why can't I just draft my own will? And the answer is yes. Yes, you absolutely can, but you really should not. And today I wanted to talk to you about why you should hire an attorney to draft your will. So obviously I'm a little biased, but if you have any questions about my biases or anything else, you can go to my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. You can schedule a free consultation over the phone with me. So why should you not draft your own will, even though you theoretically can? The answer is that there are really, really important aspects of the will that you must have in place to make things as smooth as possible after you pass away. For those who don't know, and just let me reiterate this for the 30th time now, if you have a will, you will go through probate with that will. We still need to validate the will. We need to make sure it was done correctly. We need to make sure it says what it needs to say, it's not committing any crimes or whatever. And we need to go through probate. It'll be a faster, cheaper form of probate, but it's still probate. So that's the first point to make, is that you're not avoiding probate, so a judge needs to look at your work. At that point, we need to make sure that it was executed correctly. Did you sign it? Did you have two witnesses? And did you notarize it as well? And also, did you have two different pages? One with a signature, two witnesses, another page with a signature, two witnesses, and a notary. Those two pages are really, really important, because if you don't, there could be a lot of consequences for those witnesses and for you and your will. Additionally, you want to make sure your will states that it's an independent executor, not a dependent executor. In Texas, there's an extremely important difference between independent versus dependent administration, which means that independent, an executor can do whatever they want. They can take care of the estate. They don't have to talk to a judge after they get permission, all is well. But a dependent administration, you can't sneeze without a judge looking at your work. So if you don't specify whether or not your executor is going to be an independent versus dependent administrator, oftentimes the default states that the dependent administration is what is going to be in place. And that's going to cause all sorts of headaches for your loved ones. Last but not least, you need to think about backup scenarios. What is the situation that we do whenever you have two people in charge and we need to have signatures? Do we only need one signature? Do we need both signatures? What happens if one of them drops out? Who's going to be your backup if you only have one? What do we do if we can't find your will? Like, there's all these different scenarios where, technically speaking, yes, your will is going to have whatever you want in it. And you could write 4 sentences and pretty much have a valid will. But there are a lot of important informations out there that you absolutely need to include in your will, and you're just not going to know what you don't know. I mean, how many of you knew about the independent versus dependent before you even watched this video? Of course, you're probably not thinking about that, as you're thinking, who's in charge? How do I split all my stuff up? And that's pretty much it, right? So, working with an attorney, we have all that extra stuff in there. We make sure it's all drafted correctly. It all has backup plans. It should be a document that will not be invalid or have problems later on as life changes. We want to write the will once and have it for the next several decades. That's the ideal circumstance. So if you are writing your own will, there is a very strong possibility that we don't know it's a problem until you're dead. And at that point, it's already a deadline we cannot pass. No pun intended. So with that, if you have any questions on drafting a will or how to pay for a will to have an attorney take care of it, you can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawpllc.com, or you can go to my website, www.legionlawpllc.com. You can go to the Contact Us page and schedule a free consultation over the phone directly with me for free. So with that, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.